So today we're going to be showing you how to adapt a 88 to 1991 Rm250 clutch basket to an Rm465. I did not come up with these this conversion. I was on one of the I think the big bore groups on Facebook, and someone asked about clutch baskets on there, and they had all the information. Apparently they had done it. So I'm just going to present it here on what I did, and maybe you can do it too because it's a lot cheaper. Well, I think if you can make the adapter parts yourself, maybe it's a lot cheaper. But there is people that offer billet ones for these, but they're like 500 bucks. If you buy the clutch basket from DC Plastics, I think they're like $132. So DC Plastics is the place to go. That's the cheapest place I could find. So here's the clutch basket from DC Plastics. As you can see, 88 to 91 Rm250 clutch basket. There's the part number. It says on DC Plastics these are made in Britain, but judging by the writing on there, I don't know what that is, but it must say high performance in some other language. So anyway, here's your clutch basket, and here's what you do. You bore the center hole out to the 1.888. Not too hard. But then you got to make yourself one of these. And that is a 5.1 inch OD. It's 1/8 inch thick, and it has 8 holes on a 1 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch thick plate with 8 1 1/8 inch holes on a 3.566 bolt circle with a 1.889 ID, and you'll get that. Actually, I made the whole thing. I accidentally made the 8 holes at 1/8 inch. I miswrote the directions, and I was going to drill them out to an 1 inch and 1/8, but a guy at work who runs the CNC mill said he could whip them out real quick for me because we couldn't find an 1 inch and 1/8 drill. So he CNC'd these holes in there, but I did this hole, that hole, and made it, you know, that. And then you're going to need, turn the page here, you're going to need to make some of these little itty bitty washers. And those are 8 washers with a 325 OD and a 200 ID, and they're 90 thou thick. So that's what you do. So I don't know if I'll show all this, but we'll get this set up here, because I haven't done it yet. I've kind of halfway assembled it. So you get these little screws with the clutch kit. Those replace the rivets that hold this on. So you're gonna have to do this, and then you put your plate on here, and then you take your original ones from your Rm465. Now the holes, I noticed, they don't quite match, which in hindsight I could have taken, oh, these are, although the holes would be bigger yet. This is off the Rm250. Yeah, can't get this in. They're like a 1 inch 180 instead of 1 inch and 1/8. I could have just, probably would have been better to do that and then use those, but I think, no, they're the same thickness and everything. But let's get these on here first. They're kind of tricky to remember which way they go. See, on the ones that kind of got, on the Rm465, they got a little bit of a, what do you call it? Radius on them on the bottom. These ones are on the Rm250 are straight across, so there's a little bit of a gap in there. So you do have that. Just push all these little buggers on here. they fit tight. So I don't really, hopefully they don't foresee any, oh, got that one upside down, any problems. Plus, you know, I'm sure the bike has way more power than I'll ever be able to use, being I'm not that fast. Heck, I don't even use all the power of the old KDX 220, and them don't exactly have the most power in the world, especially compared to a 250. They you can do some modifications, they say, to get them pretty darn close to a 250. But I'm pretty happy with it. And my limited ability. A lot of it's because of my old age. Not as young as I used to be. I remember when I bought my 89 Rm250. Well, not at first anyway, but... And I had that sucker pegged. Yeah, that went under really nice. So, we do that. And next, we have to find the, oh, here it is. The gear, which goes on this way. That'll be a dummy, Dave. And then that just all fits together. Might need a little gentle persuader. Seems to be fighting me. Ah, had it most of the way on there and popped off. Just like that. Now you notice that because of the spacer and everything, there's a little bit of a, probably a 90 thou gap in there. And that's where all these little washers come into play. Get them all out. I think for me, making everything, these were probably the hardest part to make. They're so tiny. I'll give you a little clue. They're actually washers that I turned down the OD, and then I ground them to thickness. And I was being smart, and I made myself a couple extra ones. Because I figured, what are the chances of me losing a couple? You know what? I think I'm gonna, I don't know. See how this works. I'm gonna try putting them all on here first. Might be a bad idea, I don't know. Then try to feed them all in there like that. Maybe that was not a good idea, I don't know. Maybe I lined them up, I don't know. I have to reconfirm every one of them, it looks like. I don't know if I should put a little Loctite on these. I think I will. I'd hate for all this to come loose. But I'll get them all on here like this at first to make sure all my little washers are in the right spots. It looks like they are. Let me get some Loctite. So we're gonna go with the permanent maximum bond. Because I don't plan on taking it apart again. I would imagine this clutch basket will last my lifetime and whoever gets this thing after I'm done with it. Be it I sell it or I die and someone else has to sell it. I jokingly say that because, well, the first part about selling it, if anyone knows me, especially my brother, he knows I'd never sell it. I don't sell anything. Not very often, anyway. There. Kind of a hoarder, I guess. I don't know about this little cheap Chinese Allen wrench. I can't remember the name of this. It doesn't say it on the box, but it seems like it says like Matika or something. M-A-T-I-K-A, I think it was, on DC Plastics website. There we go. All tight and good. Here's the original one. And I'll show you why I had to replace it. Look at the depth of those. That's how wore it, and it's like saw teeth. It is so deep. Plus, someone must have had it. I think they missed a spacer or something that spaces this out away from one of the gears, because man, that thing is chewed up. But this thing is just beat. Onto the bike. So I was double checking on how this all goes together. So if you get onto like Rocky Mountain ATV or Chaparral, one of them that offer OEM parts, you can get on the OEM section, look up the make and model of your bike, and they have schematics of all the part numbers that you can order. You know, a lot of them aren't available for a 1982 bike, but it shows how things are assembled. So on this, originally I had this washer on this inside, which it does require a washer, and I'm missing it. And then this washer goes here, and then this part of the hub thing, whatever you want to call it, goes in there up against that washer, which goes up against the bearings. Well, when I pulled this thing apart, I'd always noticed that this thing is just chewed up, like probably from that gear there, or yeah, probably from that gear, I think. So without this washer in there, you put it back together. It won't on this one because it's got a kind of a spacer deal, but because it's just different now from what the original is. It comes, this bolt's in there, and now there's a misalignment between this gear and this one here is, well, this one's too far back, so that makes that one out further, and it would stick out and chew the crap out of that. So that'll probably be it for this video, because I'm not going to be able to finish this because I don't have that washer. So I'm going to have to guess on the thickness, which I think is about the same as this front one, because when I put that one in the back, it spaces it out just pretty much perfect. So I'll have to either find one in here, or I'll have to make one at work next week, and we'll start assembling them. So it'll be a part 2. See ya.